this kid apparently has came out, Xavier Smith. We just had Matt on. We didn't get to this, but he said, I was actually getting mad, like tears coming to my eyes because, bro, you never even tried to get to know me. Xavier calls out Deion Sanders, and he said he was destroying guys' confidence and being in them and belief in themselves the way he did it. It could have been done with a little more compassion. So this is one of the times that I'm going to defend Deion, and this is the kid that I've been talking about for years. Like, we've coddled these kids so much in high school and so much with the portal. And now in this NIL era, Deion is running a professional football organization at Colorado, it seems like, with the mercenary hires and fires. And now we got these kids that come out and do this. This is what the kid landscape really is. I've been saying this for years. We are a bunch of soft kids who want to jump in the portal anytime we get yelled at, anytime we're asked to do something. And this is the other side that people don't talk about. They only talk about, oh, everyone's leaving Deion. I want to know if Deion's doing something that you and I may like, Steve, and holding kids accountable and being on their ass. I wonder if a lot of those kids are leaving from that reason.
Yeah, well, look, there's nothing different at Colorado is taking place than at any other school. Most major schools are now going to lose at least 10 to 15 guys, and they're going to bring in 10 to 15 guys. You're either going to upgrade or you're jettisoning bad. I don't say bad. You're jettisoning dead weight. It's happening at every single program. Now, this is look, you wanted this to become pro football because once you say we need to get paid, guess what? You are now playing professional football. There is, in essence, now a waiver wire. You are now getting unconditionally released. Miami had a guy, Savion Riley, seemed like a nice young man, came from Vanderbilt. He came in on the winter transfer portal. So he'd been at Miami for 3 months. He just went back to the transfer portal. And I keep thinking to myself, you were at Vanderbilt. That's a good education. You're still playing SEC football. You were starting at Vanderbilt. Were you better off just staying there and saying, you know what, I get to play some SEC football. I could earn a Vanderbilt degree. I'm good here. Now he's going to be on his third school probably in 8 months. You were better off where you were.
Let me ask you.
I mean, I think this has been a slippery slope that a lot of people did not understand what was taking place. And I'm in group chats with guys that are pretty connected. If you're a high-priced NIL player coming in as a freshman, within a year or two, if you do not live up to that NIL deal, they're going to make a demand of you. Either take less on your NIL or you're going to get out of here. Well, this is what, I don't know. Look, they thought they wanted this. They didn't want this part. Like, if you're going to be one of those guys with $1 million NIL package, you better be in that too deep within the first year or two and be making significant or sufficient progress as a player, or you may be asked to either change your deal or leave. I hate to see it this way. There's no more development. There's no more team building for the most part. This is today's college football.
I want to know why Roger Goodell in the NFL hasn't got with the powers that be at the college level and said, you are making the ultimate prize, the NFL, the ultimate watch, the NFL, a very, very watered down product. I want to know why that discussion hasn't occurred.
I don't know if that's his job. I really don't. His job is to worry about the league. I don't know. He's got enough problems.
I don't know if that's not the league though. I mean, that's what the league is. That's your count. That's where you get your blood life. I don't know. It's like recruiting college. This is why I equate it. Okay, this kid left Deion. Just talked about how shitty it was. We don't have. You just said development was a key word you used. That's the lack of now. I also think the lack of actual relationship building in the recruiting process is taking a huge hit. We don't understand how to recruit kids. We're not a very good judge of talent or character in this mercenary business. It's an impossibility. You can take a shot at it, but if I don't know Steve Kim over 3 years, I'm really not going to try to sign you. Now we're doing it in 3 weeks. We're signing guys out of the portal in 3 weeks. There's no way. And you're wondering why this is a turnover like it is in a meat market. And kids are saying this because coaches can't really do the deep dive into understanding them. Now, you fast forward to the NFL, to my point, the same thing's happening. Roger Goodell should say, hey, we're getting a guy we really don't know. There is a lack of juniors in the draft, Steve, because of what the portal is doing at the college level. Now the NFL draft is being affected by the lack of juniors. And now we have a huge issue. There's a space here. And I don't know if people understand what that's doing. I think that's why this NFL draft that just happened, to me, was the most blah, vanilla I've ever seen. It lacked star power. I thought it lacked star power. I thought it lacked substance and depth. And I don't just mean I just mean by 14 offensive players being taken in the first 14 picks, to me, is a telltale sign. Because either A, Steve, I'm not worried about the quarterback beating my corners, so I'm not going to take corners until later. Or B, I'm worried about the trenches, and we're going to just start to take the Harbaugh model, run the football next year. We might see more running the football next year than we have seen in a long time, in my opinion, at least by the teams that win. So I think it's a direct correlation in some aspects. I don't know if this is sustainable, man. I think Steve and I could be sitting here in the lounge playing poker only in 3 or 4 years while the games are on in the backdrop.
Yeah, I mean, look, in my view, you got to limit the number of transfers. In my view, I would do two things. I'd say scholarship should be multi-year contracts now.
Yeah.
And it actually might protect the players from getting cut. Number two, NILs, I think have to be specific to a geographic region. I think it's already written that way, that you have to be within 5 miles of a certain area code or you're not getting the NIL. Also, I'd say you get to transfer once. And I'd even say if you transfer, you sit out a year. You can do whatever you want, but you're going to sit out a year and you get one transfer. This ability to transfer multiple times. And, these players, and another thing, you don't get to play 7-8 years. Get moving. You've already done the system. You're not John Blutarski. Get out of here. You've gotten your degrees, and if you haven't, shame on you. Let someone else get that education and go through the process. But I don't know if any of that's ever going to happen. It is what it is. But generally now, every college player, it's like pro football, but you're on a 1-year contract. And if you are not pulling your weight, you are on the verge of getting cut, unfortunately.